Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. We are jumping from Mr.mo's GTO to the buddy part of our build, as we are going to finally get back to the buddy GTO. And I just wanted to show you guys where we're headed with this, and give a big thanks to STS Decals. They made a custom set of decals, which hopefully, if everything works out right, are going to be plastered all over the body of the 1970 GTO Superstocker. So I just wanted to show you guys the decals that they printed up for me. They are fantastic. I sent them a few images of our little guy, Buddy, here, who recently passed over the Rainbow Bridge, and his build is in his honor. So I sent them a few pictures of them, and they made them into these fantastic decals. They're all water slide, and they just look great. I mean, let me just give you guys a close-up look at these decals. It's also got his mom's name on it. Buddy's the official driver of the Superstocker. Here's another one here. And a lot of Buddy's favorite stuff. He loved pizzas. That's his birth date. He loved peanut butter and his toys. And the team's name is Multi-Poo Racing. So this is going to be a really cool tribute to a really sweet little guy. And right now I'm just plotting out exactly where I'm going to put the decals. And we're going to see exactly how well the decals from STS Decals work. I've used them before on previous builds, and the only thing I have to tell you that you have to look out for is that they are printed on one solid piece of decal paper. So you are going to have to cut them and trim them down yourself. Not really a big deal, because the color reproduction and the image reproduction is amazing. I mean, look at that. That is amazing. So I'm really, really happy with the way they turned out. So we're going to start applying them, and then we're going to see where we go. Now, you can also, they're safe to use with the decal setting solution, of which I'm going to be using Microsol and Microset to install these decals. And I'm going to take you guys through it. You guys will see me apply the first one here, and then we're going to go ahead and zoom right through the others and get to our final part of the build, so you guys can see the actual livery on the car. I mean, it's going to look great. I'm really excited about this, and Buddy's mom is going to love it. So let's get started. Alright guys, so I've already cut out and trimmed down the first decal, what I'm going to put on, which is the trunk decal, which has Buddy and some of his favorite treats, which are his sponsors. So we're going to apply this here. And I think we're going to space it out just like that. Now we'll overlap the separation for the trunk here. So that's where our decal setting solution is going to come in handy and allow it to sink right into that seam there, and really give it the painted on look. So first thing we're going to do, we're just going to put it in the water here. We're going to let it sit, soak in, and then we're going to grab our Microset. We're going to brush that on the body, and the Microsol and the Microset are two of my favorites. Now let's go ahead and check our decal, see if it's ready to slide, and it is. So here we go. We're going to take it and apply it. Gently just slide it off of the paper. Let's not screw up the first one. And I went a little bit further to the side than I would have liked. Let's just see if we can get it to move over just a hair. As the big secret is to maintain a nice wet surface so that you can move the decal around if you have to. And I think this is where I want. So now that we've got it where we want it, now we're going to just make sure that it stays there. We're going to squeeze out the water from underneath. Now, these are very thin decals, which really works out beautifully because the carrier film settles down really nicely against the body. Decal work, a lot of people are not, well, I've heard some people that are not fans of decal work. Because it can be a little tricky. Personally, I don't mind it. I've done, if you've built the Polar Light Star Trek kits, which are what they call wallpaper decals, because every inch of the ship is covered by a decal. Okay. So now we have the decal set nice. So now I'm just making sure that it's completely flattened against the body before we move on to our next step. That, I think, is going to be just about perfect. Okay, that is looking really, really good right there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add our microsol. This is where it gets a little scary because you'll watch it as you apply it. And the microsol will, and you'll see the decal start to wrinkle itself up. Don't let that scare you. It's supposed to do that because it's softening up the decal and allowing it to shrink, or basically kind of melt the decal into the body, which will allow it to conform to any bends or seams in the body. But at this point is where it makes the decal really, really soft, so you have to be very careful. I've damaged more than one at this point. Alright, so now we're going to let it do its thing. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but you can see the decal is melting itself into the seam of the trunk, which is exactly what we want. See guys, this is exactly what we're looking for. I bet I could have cut off a little more of the carrier film by gently rolling the Q-tip over the decal. You really can get to flatten it up against all the contours of the body. Alright guys, and there we go. The first buddy decal is added to the car. Now once I'm done with all the decal work, the car's going to get a full gloss coat to seal them in. But look at that cute little guy. Now, that is some sponsorship right there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and keep working a bit more on this. It's going to take a while to get all these done. And we'll be back with the finished product. Alright guys, here we have the finished product. All decaled up. Nice heavy coat of gloss put on it. The only thing needed now is for the wet sanding and polishing to get this body gleaming really nicely. The clear coat really did lay down nice, but it is going to need some wet sanding and polishing just to really smooth it all out. And once I was done with adding all of the decals that pertain to the buddy livery, I decided to go back. I had extra decals, so I decided to put in a few more automotive sponsors because I figured, you know, Buddy's such a great driver and everybody loves the little guy so much that all these companies want to jump on and sponsor his race team. And one of the companies that's sponsoring the race team is STS Decals. And MPC. Although with the trouble MPC has caused me lately, maybe we shouldn't have taken their sponsorship. But here we go. Here we have a great look at all the decals and how they laid beautifully on the car. Now, one thing I got to tell you guys, I did screw up a little bit. I laid on some of them, I put a little too much of the decal softening fluid, and as I tried to move the decal and reposition it, they did tear a little bit. It's not horrible, and really doesn't take away from the beauty of it. But just got to be careful when you put that decal solvent on and you let it sit for a while. They get really soft, and any little movement of them can cause some damage. Got a little bit here on the bone and a little bit here, but it is a race car. You know, it's going to take some bumps. It's going to get some scrapes. And there we go, guys. All of the important stuff just laid down beautifully, and those STS decals really, really are incredible. I have a little bit of sponsorship decals down here. So there we go. Next step is wet sanding and polishing. Got to give it another day to cure, and we'll be ready to assemble for final assembly. All right, guys, that's it for this video. We're going to be jumping on the final car in this triple build, which is the Pontiac Fiero Indy, as soon as we finish putting this together. Now, the Indy will not be ready in time for NNL East, because it's still in 100 whatever many pieces the kit comes with, and I still haven't sorted out some of the final details on converting the 85 Fiero GT into an Indy. So that one will not be ready other than in the work in progress section, which if you're going to NNL East, you can see where I've gotten with it so far. And if you are going to NNL East, then you'll see this car in person, and hopefully you'll like it as much as I do. All right, guys, that's it. I'm going to go, and I will see you on the next one.